Canary Wharf. This is where 22-year-old Maddy works at the headquarters of Barclays Bank. Home haemodialysis helps her continue a regular working life.
Well, I get up for work about 7 in the morning, so I'd get up and get ready for work and leave the house about 8:10 and get to work about 9. And I do a full day at work. It's meant to be 9 to 5, but it's never 9 to 5, it's more like 9 to 6. During which time I do the same as everyone else at work, and I don't take rest breaks or anything like that, which is a good indicator of how well I dialyse because I don't get so tired. Probably get home about 6:30ish. Generally I start setting up the machine about half an hour later, so I might get on the machine about 7, half 7 in the evening, and I dialyse for about 4 hours.
Maddy dialyses 4 times a week. She's been self-needling for a couple of years and now finds the process easy.
And for me, I'd needle entirely on my own. It's kind of second nature to me now. It was a big deal at first, in that was the thing I was most worried about. But actually, in reality, it's not that bad. This is a tourniquet case, so it just you put it around the arm and it tightens it so that you can feel the vein and things. So it's easier to get the needle in. Because you do it so often, you really get to know the feel of your fistula, and you know when you're doing it wrong. So you kind of stop before you go too far. I mean, I wouldn't let anyone else needle it now, whereas before I used to kind of not dare do it myself, and now I wouldn't let anybody do it because I just feel that I know it best and I can feel what I'm doing and things.
Maddy's boyfriend Ben is often around to help out with setting up the machine and to offer support.
Well, the conservatory has just been built, so that was a nice way of bringing her into the main part of the house. So it's, everyone's coming and going through the kitchen and dining room. And that's really important, because if it were in another part of the house, say upstairs or something, I think it would be more separated. Obviously, if you were leaving the house, there'd be that sort of 4, 5, 6 hours where you're just not included as a family unit. So I think that's very important.
As the family's home video shows, Maddy is still included in meal times and conversation. But although Mum will do the cooking when it comes to dialysis, it's Maddy who likes to be in charge.
Yeah, my family is like, it's because I'm a control freak, but I hate having to depend on other people for anything much, I mean, in any part of life. But because dialysis is such a big part of your life, I mean, you can't compartmentalise it. It is a big issue, and you do it all the time, and you rely on it for your well-being, and you can't skip a session if you don't fancy it. It's a big deal, so therefore I want to make it a big deal that I'm completely in charge of, and I wanted it to be so that I could make the decisions about when I dialysed, how often, how long for. It's 20 to 11 on Friday night, and I've been dialysing after work. It's been quite a busy week this week, but I've been able to stay late at work, which I've needed to do, and then I've come home and dialysed afterwards, which has been good but quite tiring. So one night I didn't go to bed till 2 in the morning and had to get up at 7:30.
Maddy has to be disciplined about her spare time, especially when it comes to making plans with boyfriend Ben.
It curtails what we can and can't do in terms of if we want to go out, we have to sort of vaguely plan. You can't just necessarily take off and say, let's go out this evening, and if I've got to dialyse, so we can't. And sometimes I can't go over to his place because obviously I need to be here and dialyse here, and I'm lucky that he's so understanding and kind of very, very flexible around that, and he'll come and see me if I can't go over to his house.
Not that the planning prevents Maddy and Ben from going on holiday.
I've been to several different places with the haemodialysis, and I've been skiing as well and found a dialysis unit in a tiny little village in Austria. And you just have to be organised, and you do have to plan quite far in advance to book your space. But once you've booked it, it's not that difficult to do, and I really would recommend it because it's just nice to have a change of scenery and things like that.
Self-care dialysis has given Maddy the freedom to pursue a university career and now a full-time job. Maddy feels the opportunities that it has given her are priceless.
I mean, I'm 100% behind self-care of whatever type that you do. I would never recommend anything else. It's a bit cliched, but quality of life is really important. There's no point just dialysing to dialyse. If you're not going to kind of make the most out of life, then what's the point, really? So you have to make a bit more effort maybe sometimes and be quite motivated about getting on with things, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to lead pretty much, I'd say, a normal life, really.